Hello, thank you for tuning in on Josh India TV. My name is Aman,
My name is Quinn.
and we are the Beholder's Eyes. Yeah,
Welcome.
so thank you for
Thank you
joining
for
us.
joining us today, and we're here to talk about the metaverse.
Yeah, we're here to talk about the metaverse, or we could call it the omniverse or the universe. It's just a name for it.
Now, me personally, I have no idea what the metaverse is.
It's just a concept right now, but what it's going to be is the new social media platform that you see Facebook now, Meta making. You see Nvidia, they're making their own version of it. All it's going to be is really, in small terms, it's a video game with a lot of integrations, with a lot of third party, companies being able to join in. Like a blank canvas with some stuff made in house by, let's say, if Facebook made it, and then Facebook would add in, dominoes into it. Probably Domino's. Domino's is going to be in the metaverse. You could order your pizza straight from a virtual kiosk, and that's going to be pretty nice. You could attend schools, where like classrooms, wherever you want. You could meet up with your virtual friends, go watch a movie, or go bar hopping in space. It's the concept is just like, if people know what VR world is, it's VR world with a lot more cooperation between corporations. Like,
So, stuff like this would be what's a good example? Uh, Sword Art Online, where you're in your own little world.
yeah,
And what was the movie? Ready Player One.
yep, Ready Player
So
One.
it's just a bunch of worlds in worlds
Yep,
with different
absolutely.
characters from everything. Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the cooperation level. Like, would the metaverse for Facebook have Disney characters? That depends if Facebook cooperates with Disney and Disney licenses the characters. Like, anything that they can't get the cooperation from for IP, we're just not going to see it in those forms of metaverses.
But that would also go into like, will this company have a contract with them for this long? Or will it be like the internet where if that's out there, it's out there?
Yeah, well, the internet, it connects all these different users and services together that are inherently not together. They're all private entities or separate entities. So the metaverse, what's going to happen is it's going to be built by one company, and that company is going to control it like their own platform. It's the greatest company that could have done this would have been Valve, Steam, or Nintendo. Some actual video game company building the metaverse. That would have been. That's. I mean, we're trying to make our own version of it, and we'll get there, and it'll be better than the one Facebook's making. Because Facebook's not a game company, and
Well,
the metaverse is inherently a game.
Facebook also has like how much money behind
They have a
them.
lot of money. They have an army of workers for them. They have billions of users that are going to instantly join their platform. People already start calling them Meta now, so the name's going to stick. And every time somebody says Metaverse, we're going to think of Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a great
I
pointer.
already think of that.
Yeah,
When we spoke about this beforehand, every time you uttered the word metaverse, I'm thinking like uh Facebook.
yeah.
I'm thinking Zuckerberg and him and how he's getting all this attention just because of that.
Because Facebook became irrelevant. Like a lot of social media platforms do. Eventually, their users take over. They have no control over their content, and they can't do anything but just watch and peddle ads. That's all the platforms do now. So, how do you get rid of that? You make a more interactive platform. That's what the metaverse is going to be. It's going to be. It's funny it's called metaverse because it makes me think of metadata, right? And how much Facebook loves metadata, how much they gorge themselves on personal data from users. So you can bet that if there was a metaverse made by Facebook out there, everything you do in there is going to be tracked, recorded, and analyzed by algorithms, right? It's because all they're trying to do is make a more seamless platform for users and consumers to purchase items. A true metaverse, a real nice metaverse, it would be a free platform. They wouldn't control your data, right? There'd be rules set in place, but for the most part, it'd be free. Wouldn't be like the Wild West. You can't have that. Like, you can't have, you know, let's say you have a restricted age world that has adult content in it, right? You can't have minors join the restricted aged world. So you have to have inherent rules like that to make sure
Like from the get-go,
you don't mess things up. Yeah.
Either that or like from the get-go, you can't purchase it unless you're over the age of 18. The
Right.
whole device in the first place.
For the adult world, that'd be part of the metaverse, right? There'd be some kid worlds that could be only for kids, and anybody older is rejected from it. So, there is endless possibilities with what we can do with it. And the people that make it, the most accepted platform, the most accepted verse, whoever makes it, they're going to control the flow of data, whether they want to or not, like the majority control, because every time we're online hanging out with anybody that we aren't hanging out in person, we're doing it in a really inefficient way for modern times. We could be having a lot more fun with just a simple VR setup and the metaverse, while also spending a lot of money. That's the whole point, is for you to never leave your house and drain your whole bank account through the metaverse. That's Facebook's version. That's what it's going to be,
Well, at the same time, you could go straight into the fact that it's like causing an addiction.
Yeah, that'll be, a little bit farther into the future when homeless people could afford VR sets, when they become so abundant and cheap, because people want, because the metaverse is so proliferated out through the world. You're going to see homeless guys, maybe,
Hooked up to some
yeah,
stuff in a cafe.
yeah, in a cafe, or they got a battery pack on them and they're on the curb just lying down looking into the metaverse, just tuned in, using the controller to move around and stuff. So there's a lot of things that have to be considered, especially addiction, because a lot of people won't be able to take the headset off. So if they're kids, you can have parental controls so that you only have a timer and that's how long you can spend. For consenting adults, it'd be a bit harder. We could put in the options of, okay, you can have a timer for 30 minutes and the headset turns off after, or it gives you a warning that you spent too long there, or an hour or 2 hours, 8 hours. People game for 8 hours straight.
Exactly.
And they'll be
but
using the metaverse for
at the same time, like you could tell yourself, I could go on the Xbox for, I don't know, I wake up, let's say 8 o'clock. I could be on that for the whole day if I wanted to. And that's me. Some people drink, some
There's
people
a lot of
smoke.
people
Like that would be my addiction. But like if you were to hop into the metaverse and see this world that this stuff's better than my life, why would I want to leave this? So you're constantly enveloped with that. And that could cause a lot of problems there.
You spend real life currency for in-game currency in the metaverse, and oh look, now you have a luxurious lifestyle in the metaverse. Meanwhile, you're getting evicted from your apartment because you're spending all of your money on the metaverse.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of problems that it causes. A lot of issues that it'll solve too. Humans are going to be interconnected in a way we've never seen. The closest thing we have right now is VR world for the metaverse, and VR world is pretty limited. You could, there's just so much potential for it. You could have companies could have worlds of their own, that's like Audi world, or let's say GM world, and all it is simulations of their real life equipment running in these worlds, right? And people, what could they use this for? They could use it for training new employees, instead of having to break down a running machine in the factory, they could just break it down in the metaverse, see through it. I know I think Audi does that already. They have their own VR virtual thing, maybe for aerodynamics. I don't know what exactly it was, but, for designing the cars. So everybody has potential to make their own world in the metaverse. Everybody has the potential to get sucked into it. And some people aren't going to be ready.
I could say one thing for sure. I sure as hell am not going to be ready.
Yeah, it's daunting. It's pretty scary if you consider it and you consider how lonely people are going to end up being. It's going to be like that movie. There was a Bruce Willis movie called Surrogates, kind of like that, where everybody's just living in their apartment, spending their life through their avatars, and that's it for life. Is that a way to live? No.
Is that what might end up happening? Yes.
Could be.
Like even right
Absolutely.
now, with how congested things are all
Yeah.
over the place. Like some people, what's a congested country? China.
China.
China's got very small living areas for the like middle class and lower class.
Yeah, Hong Kong has sleeping pods.
Exactly.
You spend $2,000 and you get like a pod that looks super cool and futuristic, but that's where that's
Yeah.
your whole sleeping quarters. I mean, it's just the prices are insane for these things too. What if somebody decides to downgrade and leave their luxurious apartment in Manhattan or Hong Kong, downsize and spend all of their money in the metaverse on some virtual stuff? Can we track how users can trade off their accounts to each other, like for money, for rare items? We could, yeah. Will we allow it? Who knows? It's all up in the air right
That
now.
is another thing that like they're just trying to regulate the internet.
Yeah,
They only just started doing. How long has the fucking internet been around?
it's been around for a
A,
while,
a
since the
while now.
90s, yeah.
Yeah. So we've almost hit half a century.
Yeah, jurisdiction and rules are going to be slow with it, but
But at the same time, like the moment the metaverse comes in, now is when we start regulating the internet. And if this comes in, they're gonna have to start regulating this,
yeah,
and that's gonna be a mess.
it would be because of just how complex the metaverse is going to be, with all the partnerships and moving parts to it. Moving parts is software, it's not going to have moving parts. So that's a great thing to consider because the metaverse comes around. The only people that really have authority and jurisdiction over it is going to be the creators, Facebook or Nvidia or whoever makes it, us. So then you have to see, are they going to act responsibly?
No,
Yeah, that's the main thing,
absolutely not.
Will they look out for protection of minors? Will they, try to make it more accessible? If it gets more users, if it gets more people playing it, of course they will,
No,
It's
but at the
just,
same time, like they're not gonna start looking into stuff that might happen until
yeah.
something happens.
Until it's too late, until they have to pay a big fine, and by
Yep.
that point they've made so much money that they don't care. Yeah. So there's so many morals to consider, ethics with it, and just the amount of technology that's going to be required to make it possible. Have you heard about I'm thinking about how in Ready Player One they had omnidirectional treadmills, where you'd run in any direction, and then we're coming out with that now, which is pretty dope. But I mean, which gamer is gonna run on the omnidirectional treadmill to play COD?
Yeah.
When you're used to just sitting on the couch and playing.
Like I could say for a fact, like video games itself have helped my reflexes. I could do anything with my like that revolving around reflexes.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that I'm pretty fast with it. There are people better than me, hands down, but I've become good things. But that's only in my hands, like in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, so with all these things that are coming out now that I'm, pardon me,
I just coughed too, yeah.
that are in like a what is it, a treadmill?
Yeah.
What the hell? I'm not gonna be able to do that.
I won't.
Who the fuck? Who wants to run on a treadmill to play Call of Duty?
Maybe they're
What are they
looking
gonna have?
for more immersion.
Pain receptors when I get shot? No,
Yeah,
thank you.
They'll have that. They already have a suit that has like hard points, like motion and some kind of rumblers where you get hit in a game and it senses it and it like pushes down on that part of the suit. And it's like thousands. It's worth thousands right now because it's the new technology and it's expensive. And the main people I can see buying these things like omnidirectional treadmills in the beginning, tread pads we can call them, and reactive fake armor. The military, to simulate battles. Training. That's definitely something right up their alley. And yeah. I don't see any gamer running on the treadmill just for shits and giggles. It's not going to be. No, it doesn't sound realistic at the moment. It'll change in the future when people want to get more. When they want to get more immersed into it, then they'll get off the couch and go on the omnidirectional treadmill. Like you have the VR headset on, and you're like, all right, this controller's great, but I just want to be in the battle.
Yeah, but at like the same time, like this stuff, we're like us, our generation, we're used to this.
Yeah.
So like the two of us most likely we're gonna continue sitting our asses down playing video games. Later, our kids, their kids. If this stuff is around, they're going to be more involved in it than us. Like
definitely.
Stuff's going to keep on getting better or worse. Or the apocalypse just happens and it all goes bye-bye.
Yeah. We are going to talk about the apocalypse at some point. Not today, but another time.
World ending, all that good stuff.
Yeah. It's all food for thought. The metaverse specifically, it seems like a lot of people don't know what it's going to be. I have a somewhat clear image in my mind of what the metaverse will be because I like the idea. I asked myself a couple of years ago, what's going to replace social media? What's going to be the new social media in a couple of years? And the metaverse is the one plausible thing, an online virtual world.
Well, Ready Player One is probably the perfect.
It's the greatest example, yeah. People don't take that movie seriously because it's not a serious movie. It's a funny comedy movie. It's, but they should take it seriously in the sense that we're right around the corner for that technology. We're about to hit the cusp of that, and a lot of people aren't ready.
It'll be fun. We'll figure it out.
It will definitely be fun, yeah.
All right, we're hitting our 20-minute mark.
Yeah, did we?
Yeah.
Damn, not bad.
So I'd say that's
done an outro, right?
That's the time. This is around the time where we'd like to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us for our first session.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening. And we hope to be here many more times.
Have a good day to you.